Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Jesse Lee, and today we're talking about how to get more Instagram likes and followers with optimization. And what I mean by optimization is, it's perfecting what you already have there. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And the reason I'm doing this is because I had a guy see my account recently, and he said, "Hey, do you think you could help me?" He sent me this message: "Hey, bro, would you like to have a few? Would you have a few minutes to check out my Instagram page? I'm looking for some constructive criticism if you've got any." And constructive criticism in terms of what can he change and what can he make better to kind of better serve his audience. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So just to kind of give you some proof here, this is my account. I'm at maybe 23,000 followers. Well, 24. I kind of stopped over the past year. I've had to take a break from drumming because I got in a car accident. So this has dropped a lot. My followers were up around 30,000, I would say. So just so you're aware, I just wanted to show that just so you know I'm not a hack and I actually know what I'm talking about. So I understand it's very hard to grow an Instagram account right now. It's the algorithms are not working for us, but there are a few things we can do to optimize. So let me get back into presentation mode here. I'm going to talk about these 5 concepts. First, we're going to talk about WIIFM, what that means. It's very important and it relates to everything else we're going to do. The second thing we're going to talk about is hashtags and keywords. The third thing is profiles. The fourth thing is posts. And the fifth thing is links. And links kind of fit into profiles, but I want to mention something at the end here. So let's jump into it. So WIIFM, what does that actually mean? That stands for what's in it for me. And this is, in the copywriting world, this is what is known as everybody's favorite radio station. And that means if you got a bunch of followers, right, they don't care what you think is important, this is the real reason why most people don't get likes and shares and posts and everything is because they'll work very hard on something that they think is very unique or something that, it took a long time to put together. And maybe sometimes it gets some traction, but sometimes it just doesn't, and it's really frustrating. So this is the thing you should really be thinking about whenever you're doing anything, and I'm going to go into this concept when we talk about posts in a little bit. But basically, what you want to do is figure out, okay, who is your ideal audience? Who are you trying to serve with your account? And how can you best serve them? What's the thing that's going to make them most excited? So you should actually do a brainstorming session about, well, what is the thing that makes you most excited about your like people that you follow? So find people that you follow that do something similar or in a completely different niche and figure out what are they doing that makes you super excited and want to look at their account, and then try to replicate that. So, all right, so let's talk about hashtags and keywords now. Now, Instagram does have a new system based around keywords. They've been using hashtags for a long time, but this new concept called keywords, they just sort of implemented that. And it's on the front end. It's not super complex right now in their search engine. But my assumption is if you are able to rank on keywords now that they're first coming out, if you can stay there, it's gonna give you a lot of exposure over a long, long period of time. And the reason these are very important is because you need to niche down your account. Now, when I say niche down, a lot of people sort of, what they'll do is they'll post about all sorts of different things, right? But if you can get it down to where you're talking about just a few core things, maybe one to 3 things that they're very consistent. So I'll show you mine again. I'm a drummer, right? So if you look at my account, everything's drum related. So the keywords are important. Notice in here I have drummer and I have drum lessons and, obviously, musician is there. But then a lot of the hashtags and stuff I use are based around those, as you can see here, drum lessons, Gad beat, Steve Gadd is a drummer, beats, sorry. And then rudiments, which is another drum word. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm trying to highlight the words for you and it keeps on clicking over. So how do you find these? Well, there are some hashtag generators you can use online, and that's fine. Another way you could do is just come up and get some ideas, like type in hashtag drums. Now, I'm going to give you guys another really awesome free tool here. But what you're going to want to do is see the number of posts there are, and just try to envision, okay, like how many people are searching for that on a monthly basis, and is there competition? And so basically what you want to do is figure out what are the really popular ones, and then what are some smaller ones that are not as popular, but they would attract some really good people, right? So now we don't have data on what people are actually searching for, and that's where the other tool is coming from. I'm going to show you actually how to find what people are searching for on the internet, not Instagram specifically, but it's going to be good, trust me. So as you can see, there are a ton of posts that just have drums, right? So there's a ton of competition for that keyword. However, there's not as much for, let's try to find something in the middle here. Maybe a few thousand, right? Something like here, drums cover. There's only 14,959 posts with that specific hashtag. So this is probably going to have slightly less competition. Now, what you want to do is try to pick a good mix and keep it niched down. And the reason I say keeping it niched down is sometimes people will be like, drums, 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 giraffes. Check out my trip to the zoo. Now, by and large, people might like to see trips to the zoo, but if you're dealing with a bunch of drummers, like, why would I put a picture of my trip to the zoo on an account that I've tried to accommodate specifically for drummers? So, now maybe you've picked 2 or 3 niches. I have a friend of mine, he's a musician. I won't mention his name. He asked for some privacy, but he's a musician, he's a saxophonist, and he also loves coffee. Oh, I shouldn't have said saxophonist. That calls him out a little bit. But you guys will never figure out who he is. Yeah, so he loves coffee, and I thought that was such a cool little sort of pairing because musicians, whether, like jazz musicians, jazz is, sort of a coffee shop type music. So that's a really good stack of niches. So if you theme it with just, 1 or 2, or maybe I would say at the most 3, stacking up 3 niches, that is pretty cool. So, now, so I hope that makes sense. When you're trying to optimize your account, you don't want to be sticking in stuff that's random. You want to keep it all within one theme. A lot of people will try to be like, well, I do health and fitness, and I also do music, and I also do... That's okay if you're putting kind of... Every now and then you're putting something about your life, because people do like to see your life, and that's something you need to experiment with. If you're putting parts of your life on Instagram, maybe you have an interesting enough life to where people are actually responding. But if they're not responding, then just knock it off and just do the stuff that works. So, all right, now to the tool for keywords. All right, this is really awesome. This is Google Ads. You can use this for free, right? So just come in here, create an account. I'm not going to walk you how to create an account. It's really easy. Add a credit card. Don't worry, you won't be charged for anything. You could use the keyword planner for free. You're not going to be charged anything unless you run an ad, and you won't ever accidentally hit a button and do that because it's like a 30-step process. So don't even worry about it. Just throw a credit card in. That way you can have access to the keyword planner. So keyword planner, this interface will change. Those of you who are watching the video in the future, I'm sure Google may update this at some point. But the concept is the same. Just try to find somewhere on the screen. Right now it's up here in the right. It says Tools and Settings. Click on that. And underneath there should be something called the Keyword Planner. This is an amazing, amazing tool. So what we're going to do is click on Discover New Keywords. Now what this is going to do, it's actually going to show me the search volume of the things that are trending on Google. Now you can use Google Trends for this, but check it out. If I type in, let's say again, drums, right? I type in drums. So as you can see, it just gave me a whole slew of, like a whole massive slew of search terms for drums. And again, you want to play the same numbers game here. Obviously, this one is massive. It has 100,000 to 1 million searches a month, and you can see the competition level here is high, right? So maybe you want to try to get some of those, but if you do all of those, the competition will be so high you won't get any eyeballs on your Instagram account. Sorry, I'm talking drums right now. You could also come here and sort by competition, right? Let's sort by competition. So now we have all the low competition search terms. So what I would say is you could try to find something that's low that maybe has, and sometimes these low, competition search terms, they get a ton of traffic. Sometimes they'll get 100,000 to a million a month. But like this one here, Sina Doring, I'm not sure who that is. Maybe that's a drummer. I should know these things better as a drummer. So that gets up to 10,000 searches a month, and it's low competition. So maybe you're doing something that has to do with this person's name. If I were doing a feature on her, I'd make a post and I'd use that, and then I'd also take the space out and use it as a hashtag, so I get the keyword recognition in the post. I would use that word in the actual post description or the caption, and then I would also use it as a hashtag. So let's see what else here. What's another? Nick Mira drum kit. Okay, I don't know who Nick Mira is, but apparently he has a drum kit. So yeah, so what you would want to do is kind of find a good mix of keywords and hashtags. I don't want to say that you have to stick with 5 keywords or 100 or 1,000, because, you know, that rule is sort of arbitrary depending on your niche. But what you want to do is make sure all of the terms that you're using are closely related. Again, like I said, if you're doing drums, giraffes, that's going to confuse Instagram. Now, my buddy who's doing music and coffee, that's a little bit closer, so you can kind of get away with that as long as you're consistently using both of those. Yeah, so that's the first tip. Also, all right, we're coming up on time here. We're about 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is actually make another video. Let me get back in presentation. I'll post another video right here that you can go watch. And also, if you want, I will put I have a free special report, this Instagram Reels special report. You can download it for free in the description if you want. But yeah, for right now, let's go to this next video and just watch it right here, and I'll see you in the next video.